Hey everybody, it's Robert, the Asian film junkie, here with the first review. I said in the last video that I wanted to do Samurai 1, Miyamoto Musashi first, but I changed my mind, mainly because I just feel like it'd be better to do something that I'm very well acquainted with and very close and near and dear to my heart. So if you watched the last video, then you know that the first review here is Season 1 of Rurouni Kenshin. I actually own all 3 seasons. Here we go, man. There we go. So, Season 1 is 6 discs. So let's just get into it. And before I get into the actual review, I just want to do some background into Rurouni Kenshin and the original manga release and everything. And the original manga came out in 1994, and that run lasted until 1999, with there's being 28 volumes. I own all 28 volumes. My office is a mess, so I won't show them to you, but they're right here beside me. The original artist is Nobuhiro Watsuki, and if I butchered that, I apologize, but I think that's the proper pronunciation. All that aside, the original anime came out in 1996 with Season 1, and it ran all the way until 1998, so for 2 years. And it's 3 seasons consisting of 95 total episodes. They're 30 minutes apiece. So for the plot of Season 1, it's pretty straightforward. I always say that for the most part, Season 1 is about 90% accurate to the manga. There is filler, unfortunately, but for the most part, the filler is kept down to a minimum, and it's pretty good. So the first couple episodes are just they're just in the introduction to the characters. So the first episode, you have the introduction to Kenshin, second to Yahiko, and the third through like the 5th episodes is Sanosuke. And then you have the Jine arc, and he's an assassin, and he kidnaps Kaoru, and this is the first time you really see Kenshin's Hitokiri form, where he kind of loses a little bit of control. After that, you have the big arc for Season 1, and that's the Megumi and the Takeda arc. You find out that one of Sanosuke's friends was killed due to this super opium called Spider's Web, and it leads back to this woman, Megumi, and there's the Oniwanbanshu, and one of the fan favorite characters, Aoshi Shinomura, who's the leader of this group of ninja who all they want is to regain the honor that they lost when they weren't allowed to defend Edo Castle after the last shogun just surrendered and said, "I'm done." So after that, you have the Rajuta arc, and he's this dude who is gathering all the best samurai swordsmen from Japan, and he wants to overthrow the government and rebuild this golden age of swordsmanship. And at first Kenshin's like, and then he's like, and then they fight and crap happens, and Kenshin wins because he's Kenshin. Next you have the betrayal arc, where Sanosuke runs off with his friend from the Sekihotai army, and they try to take over they don't really try to take over the government, they just try to topple it. Kenshin's there, he stops that. And then pretty much for the rest of the season is just filler. But it's okay, it's not terrible. It's pretty good filler. And so yeah, that's Season 1, and overall, I mean, to me, this anime is just, it's the one that brought me into my love of anime and manga. So it holds a very special spot near and dear to me. The animation's very 90s animation. The opening theme is, it's really the opposite of what you would expect from a semi-serious, action-packed anime, but I like it. I've always liked the opening theme and the closing themes. For the most part, they stay good. I mean, what can you say? It's Rurouni Kenshin. It's a classic. It is everything that you hope it would be. And if you don't like it, then, well, I mean, that's your prerogative. I personally think you're wrong because it's a beautiful anime. The characters are very rich, and there's a lot of character development, especially with characters like Kenshin and Yahiko. You really don't like Yahiko at the beginning, or at least I didn't, and by the end of it, he's one of your favorite characters. He's just fantastic. Sanosuke, he's got this dark past where his motivations are very selfish almost, but I get where he's coming from, and I love his story. And maybe after I do the Kenshin, all the Kenshins, I'll do a history of the Kenshin universe, and because it's very founded in real history. Kenshin being an Isshin Shishi is a real group. Saito being a member of the Shinsengumi, it's a real group. The Sekihotai were a real group. The only Wanbanshu were a real group. These people actually existed in one way, shape, or form. There was no Himura Kenshin. There was a Saito. There was a real Saito Hajime. He was captain of the 3rd Shinsengumi group. So they got that right. There's some minor differences, but obviously. But the important part is he was a real person, and I was shocked when I found that out. But he is indeed 100% a historical figure. He changes his name to Fujita Goro after he leaves the Shinsengumi, well, after the Shinsengumi is disbanded. And so there's that. And if you want to know more about Saito, you can watch When the Last Sword is Drawn, which I'll review on here later. It's a very good movie about the end of the Shinsengumi, and the focus is on Saito. So you could watch that one. It's a very good movie. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as a review goes. I mean, it's just to me, it's perfect 90s anime. It's beautiful. It's awesome. The fight sequences are really good, although that really doesn't come into its own until the 2nd season. But that being said, yeah, I can't really complain. The only complaints I could do is on the filler episodes, but even those aren't terrible. So yeah, as far as the packaging goes, this is the first collection of anime that I ever purchased. I think I paid $110 for this back in the day. And for the most part, it's held up remarkably well. It's got a little crack right there where a piece of plastic has come off, but the only thing that I wish they would have changed, and it's a pretty big gripe, is I wish they would have numbered the discs. All there is titles to the discs. So disc 1 is The Legendary Swordsman, disc 2 is Battle in the Moonlight, etc., etc. I just wish they would have numbered them, because you can pop the discs in the wrong order, and it's just a pain. You got to take it out, and so that could have been easily solved with just numbering the discs, and it doesn't change for the season 2 box set or the season 3 box set. None of them are numbered whatsoever. But that's pretty much it for the first season. I recommend it highly. I would put it on a buy list immediately. Though if you want to stream it, they did just put it on Netflix. At the time of this recording, it is on Netflix, and I believe it's just season 1. I'm not 100% on that. Also, I would recommend the Aniplex dub. I enjoy this one much more than the Funimation dub. Even saying that, I'm not crazy about the English dub. I love the Japanese dub, or the, I guess, subs is much better, in my opinion. You've got a character who is in one of the restaurants that they frequent, and she talks like she's from Louisiana or something, and it's just really off-putting. It's just really crazy. It's just like, where did this southern redneck woman make her way to Japan? Like, how did that happen? But it's minor gripes. The English Kenshin's okay. The English Kaoru is fine. Pretty much in season 1, the English dubs are perfectly acceptable. And even the southern waitress is fine. She just, I don't know. Me personally, she's always got on my nerves, and it's really taken away. But again, it's personal preference on that. So I would recommend that you buy it if you can. The day it comes out on a Blu-ray release, I will be repurchasing all 3 seasons. Well, 2 seasons, the first 2 seasons. I didn't even purchase season 3 myself. It was given to me by a friend, so I didn't have to spend. And that was the most expensive one at the time. It was $130. But I digress. Yep, that's pretty much it for this video. We'll see you next time with Kenshin Season 2. And be blessed. Have a great day.